Did you know that by the year 2050, more than 70% of the world's population is expected to live in megacities of more than 10 million people? You know that I am a great defender of the benefits of being in contact with nature, but in a scenario like this, it is clear that the cities of the future have to start rethinking now. And in fact, there are already some cities that are making giant steps towards this concept of biophilic cities or sustainable cities. That is why in this video I want to share with you 8 very interesting international cases of how they have innovatively brought nature to big cities. My name is Albert Cervera and I am specialized in creating projects where people's well-being is prioritized. If 70% of the population is going to live in cities, and the introduction of nature in the environment will be one of its key axes, then we have no choice but to start creating healthy and sustainable cities now. And this is no longer a question of aesthetics, it is a question of public health. That is why concepts such as sustainable cities or biophilic cities are becoming increasingly popular, as well as the term biophilic design or biophilic cities, always remembering the many health benefits of being in contact with natural environments. According to the World Health Organization, more than 91% of the world's population is breathing polluted air. And this means that every year, 4.2 million people die directly from pollution every year. Breathing such air brings with it an increased risk of cardiovascular problems, respiratory problems such as pneumonia and lung cancer. But it also brings an increase in psychological problems. A study conducted by the journal Nature states that living in a city increases by 21% the possibility of suffering from anxiety and also increases by 39% in mood disorders. And is that green spaces stimulate biodiversity and absorb pollution and help in the fight against climate change through this absorption of CO2. And is that achieving greater integration of nature in the urban environment bring many benefits and help improve people's health. Fortunately, there are more and more studies that show the benefits that nature has on people, and especially in urban environments. So let's get down to it. Let's start with the examples. I'm going to explain 8 very interesting projects that have innovatively brought nature in cities. And let's start with my beloved city of Mexico City. In Mexico City, they have installed vertical moss gardens under the overpasses. What they have done is to cover the pillars with thousands of plants, and it manages to clean the air and therefore the quality of life of its citizens. In the second project, we go to Singapore, where they have created a network of public therapeutic gardens, where they started their first project with the aim of increasing the well-being of the elderly, including treatment for dementia and rehabilitation of patients recovering after having had a stroke. The third project takes us to Milan, Italy. There, the expansion of green infrastructure projects that merge natural elements such as trees, gardens and plants into buildings with infrastructure was the central focus of the Milan Charter. Since then, the number of regional parks has increased by 39%, and there has been an influx of streets and buildings bordered with plants, especially known as the Bosco Verticale. They have opted above all for the vertical forests where the lush vegetation has adapted perfectly to the tall buildings, thus obtaining the reduction of up to 5 degrees of temperature in the building. The fourth project takes us to the Dutch city of Utrecht, where they have covered the bus stops with flowers, creating hundreds of bee havens, reducing air pollution and removing dust from the air. In the fifth project we go to Paris, France, where people are planting gardens in the street. Planting fruit trees that attract insects such as bees is encouraged. The sixth project takes us to the town of Roehampton, England, where they are planting wildflowers among their busy roads. They are excellent for local wildlife and for increasing biodiversity. They are also much more economical than the maintenance of landscape spaces such as lawns. In the seventh project we go to China, where they have created cities known as sponge cities to avoid the disastrous effects of flooding, as we see in the city of Shanghai, which by changing the city's drainage where green elements act as permeable sidewalks, directly filter the water, and the result is to avoid flooding and improve soil health. Finally, the eighth project is a very original one located in the former Tempelhof airport in Berlin, Germany. It has become more of a park, combining the elements of an old airport with natural elements. The runway is covered by hundreds of perfectly integrated trees and plants. Cities are going to play a very important role in combating climate change and improving people's health. That is why nature-based solutions become very cost-effective policies in the long run and solve some of the most pressing climate change problems. And solve some of the challenges that urban planning has. And so I would like to know what kind of projects you would like to do in your city. Tell me if you want in the comments, like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to receive content like this. Have a wonderful day.